properly. Namasabhaye, respected Swamiji Hari Prasad ji, respected chairperson of this session, and other dignitaries, I offer my pranam. I deem it a very great privilege to be present here and present a paper on the concept of Kārya in Sri Vaishnavism before the galaxy of the great scholars. I am proud to be associated with Sri Vishnu Mohan Foundation for more than a decade. Now, as the time is too short, I will directly enter into the topic. The philosophy propagated by Alvars, the divine saints, and the Acharyas like Nathamuni, Yamunacharya, Ramanujacharya, and others is called Vishishtadvaita. The religious side of that philosophy is called Sri Vaishnavism. It is often said that philosophy without religion is lame, and religion without philosophy is blind. Hence, philosophy and religion should go hand in hand for their survival. In fact, on one hand, the religious aspects are strengthened by the theoretical foundations. On the other hand, philosophy is strengthened by the practice of the religion. In Sri Vaishnavism, both religious practices and theories are inseparably associated, as it can be witnessed in several rituals that are performed by Sri Vaishnavas. I am saying this is that even the Kārya or Akārya is also come under our philosophical aspect as well as religious practice. According to Kārya or Karma, I think both are same, are to be performed only as a service to the Lord. Kainkaryam, what we say. Kainkaryam is service. So whatever Kārya we do, all the Kārya should be only a service to the Lord. If a karma is performed without that intention, that is without the intention of doing service to the Lord, it will become Akārya according to Sri Vaishnavism. This concept is based on Vedantas, Bhagavad Gita, and other texts. In one of the Pancharatra Smritis, there is a saying by Bhagavan himself, Shruti Smritir Mamai Vajna, Yas Tam Ullanghya Vardate, Ajna Chedi, Mama Drohi, Madbhaktopina Vaishnavaha. That is, Vedas and Dharma Shastras are my command. The Lord himself says, they are my commands. One who do not follow these commands, then he is a traitor. And even though he is my devotee, he may be my devotee, he is not a Vaishnava, he says. So if he is a Vaishnava, he has to follow the dictums in the Shastras scrupulously. This is the saying by Lord himself in Pancharatra Agama. See, the same idea is also stressed in Bhagavad Gita also. Yaha Shastra Visim Utsrijya Vartate Kamakarataha Nasisiddhim Avapnoti Nasukam Na Parangatim. That is in 16th chapter. Krishna says, he who abandoning the injunctions of the Shastras acts under influence of desire attains neither perfection nor pleasure nor the supreme abode. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Kārya Kārya Vyavastitau. So, therefore, the Shastras should be authority for determining what should be done and what should not be done. This is the saying of Lord Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. For want of time, I am not explaining the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. My previous speaker has dealt very clearly about the greatness of Bhagavad Gita, which has been accepted by the whole world. But all the dictums of Shastras cannot be followed by everybody. Only those dictums which are compulsory, one should observe. Krishna himself says in another place at Bhagavad Gita, in 2nd chapter, he says, Yavanartha udapane sarvata sampulutodake, tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. He says, that is, the river is full of water, but if I am thirsty, whatever water I can drink, I will take it. So the entire water I cannot drink. In the same way, even the duties, that is, dictums of the Shastras are to be taken according to his capacity, his varna, his ashrama, and so on. Even while doing the duties, one should do it without an eye on the fruit of the action. That also Krishna says, very famous verse, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana, ma karma pala heturbuhu, mate sangos tvakarmani. That is, your right is only to work and never to the fruit thereof. Let not the fruits of your work be your motive for your action, and do not become you attached to inaction also. So you have to do the Kārya, but you should not be attached with Akārya, but you should not aspire for the fruits for doing any Kārya. This idea of doing duty without aspiring for the fruit is stressed throughout the Bhagavad Gita in several chapters. There are so many shlokas. Just I will cite one or two. In 2nd chapter itself, he says, Karmajam buddhiyuktahi palam tyaktva manishinaha janmabanta vinirmuktaha padam gachanti anamayam. That is, the wise who are endued with the appropriate mental disposition give up the fruit that is born out of their work, and then becoming free from bondage of birth, they go to the supreme abode. Lord Krishna says. In 4th chapter, again he says, Tyaktva karmapala sangam, nityatrupto nirashrayaha, karmani avipravirtopi, naiva kinchit karoti saha. That is, having renounced all the attachment to the fruits of his action, ever contented with what? With the eternal self and dependent on nobody. One does not act at all, even though he is engaged in acting, that is, engaged in action. That is, one who does these activities without expecting karma, that is, without expecting the fruit of his karma, does not act at all, he says. It is like it's equal to that. Then in 3rd chapter also he has already said, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jvaraha. That is, doing the duty and without expecting any result. How is it possible? We may ask. For that also he answers, Lord Krishna himself answers. He says, with a mind fixed upon the soul, make over all the work unto me. You surrender all the work to me and become free from desire and the selfish idea of ownership. Only then you can attain the supreme abode. In the 9th chapter, he very clearly says, whatever Kārya you do, you just surrender those things, offer it to me. In 9th chapter, very clearly Krishna says, Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi yad tapasyasi kaunteya, tatkurushva madarpanam. That is here the explanation. See, I'm depending upon the interpretation of Ramanuja for my explanation. Here, yad karoshi, whatever you do, that means your mundane worldly activities. Yad ashnasi, yad juhosi, that is shastric activities, whatever you do. Dadasi yat, whatever you give. Yad ashnasi, whatever you eat. Yad tapasyasi, whatever penance you do. Tatkurusha madarpanam, you just offer it to me. and don't aspire for any phala over it. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give, whatever austerity you practice, oh Arjuna, do that as an offering to me. So in this way, so many verses are there. I can even quote more verses. That is, yajnadana tapakarma na tyajyam karyameva tat. That is, you should not leave the karya itself. You have to do the karya. Yajnodhanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. Doing all the karyas according to the Shastra make a man purified. So, yajnadana tapakarma na tyajyam. It should not be left alone. Etanyapitu karmani sangantyatva palani cha. And you have to do all those activities, even if it is done with in accordance with the Shastra. You have to, that is sangam tyatva palani cha. That is, it is my decided and final view that even these acts should be done, O Arjuna, with relinquishment of attachment and the fruits thereof. Krishna categorically says, that is, this is my view. Kartavyaniti me partha nishchitam matam uttamam. This is mamatam nishchitam uttamam. This is my established view, Lord Krishna says. So, one has to perform all his duties according to the Shastras, but at the same time, he should offer all those work to the Lord and without expecting any result over it. That is the idea here. Karyamityeva yatkarma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva palanchaiva saha tyagaha satvikaha mataha. In 18th chapter also he says that he cannot live, especially the nitya and naimitika karmas, which are that is ordained in the Shastras. That is, in Shastras, for each and every person, some karmas are, he has been asked to perform those karmas without fail. So, when actions are performed, which are ought to have been done, Arjuna, renouncing attachment and also renouncing attachment to the fruits, you have to do. Such attachment is regarded as sattvika tyaga, he says in 18th chapter. So, in this way, Bhagavad Gita, if you go through, there are several passages which says that one has to do all the work, that is as per the dictums in the Shastra. That is, he has to do the karmas, karyas according to his varna, his ashrama, and so on. But Sarva Karmani, again, 18th chapter, Sarva Karmani api sada kurvanaha. Always a person is doing all the duties according to the Shastra. But Madhyapashrayaha, that is surrendering to me and offering all his activities to me, then Mat Prasadat Avapnoti Shashwatam Padam Avyayam. So by my grace, he attains the supreme abode. Krishna says. Hence, one has to do all his karya duties, but should not aspire for the fruit of his action, and should surrender all acts, offer all acts to the Lord. This is the quintessence of all these shlokas in in Bhagavad Gita. So, in Sri Vaishnavism, whatever karma we do, whatever karya we do, we recite the following verse at the end. At the beginning, we will have a sankalpa. That is, Asya Sri Bhagavato Mahapurushasya Sri Vidnorajna Pravartamanasya Adya Brahmana Dvitiya Prarthe Shvetavaraha Kalpake Mayustu Mantare. So we will have a sankalpa where we are doing, when we are doing, and so. And finally we say, Etat karma Bhagavad Ajna Kaikarya Rupam Etat karma karomi.
Sorry to interrupt.
Doing this.
Please conclude in another 3 minutes.
Hello?
Sorry to interrupt. Please conclude in another 3 minutes, sir.
Yes. Whatever karma we do, we should do it as a kaikarya to the Lord. So, even our sankalpa is like that. That is, we do it as Bhagavad Ajna Kaikarya Rupam. See, in the beginning I said that all the commands in the Shastras are his ajnas. So now we are doing this karma according to that ajna. But that ajna is also done only as a kainkarya. So ajna kainkaryam. And then when we are concluding our work, also we say Kārya and Akārya manasendriyirva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanaya iti samarpayami. See, whatever I do by my body or mind or so on, everything I offer to Lord Narayana, he said. And even this sloka, now I recited from Bhagavad Gita, Yat karoshi yat juhosi, yadashnasi dadasi yat tatkaro. That is see, that is told by Lord Krishna to us. So that is in third person. So we address it in the second person to Lord Krishna himself. Yat karomi, yat ashnami, yat juhomi, dadami yat tapasyami bhagavan, tat karomi tvadarpanam. So we will have to offer everything to the Lord himself. So in Sri Vaishnavism, another feature is serving the Lord in the temples, Divya Desham, is more important than even his regular karma. This has been very much dealt in Tamil works as Acharya Hridayam and other works of Acharyas. Now, I don't have time to explain all those things. See, what they say is, doing service in the temple is more important than doing his daily routine in the household. That is, see, for example, only one thing I will say, that is, I have to do Sayam Sandhya Vandanam at 6 o'clock in the evening. But at the same time, I have a duty at the temple, which I should do, which should I give preference. And the first preference is only to temple duty, because that is direct kainkariam to the Lord. Whereas Sandhya Vandanam is only an indirect kainkariam to the Lord through the deities, that is through Antaryami Bhava. So only after finishing our duty, whatever is in the temple, only after finishing those karyas, then we will come home and we will maybe even night 9 o'clock. So after coming home, we have to perform our daily rituals like Sandhya Vandana or anything else. So temple service is more important than even the regular duties which are ordained in the Shastra. That is very much important in Sri Vaishnava philosophy. That is in practice, Sri Vaishnava religion also. And so, the temple service, see, for this, there are so many anecdotes in the life of the Acharyas also. That is, once an Acharya was giving discourse. At the time for Sandhya Vandanam came. When the disciple remembered him, sir, it is now 6 o'clock, should you not go for Sandhya Vandanam? The Acharya said, no, we are engaging, that is enjoying the beauty of the Lord. I am explaining about the Lord. So this is more important than even Sandhya Vandanam. That is, there are so many important incidents mentioned even in the life of Sri Ramanuja. So I think since the time is too short, I am not able to deal with it in detail. I think I have given the quintessence of Kārya according to Sri Vaishnavism. That is, we will have to follow the dictums of the Shastras without fail, scrupulously. But we will do all these Kāryas only as a service, kainkarya to the Lord, without expecting any fruit. And when temple service come, even these Kāryas are, that is, merged with the temple kainkaryam. And so that they are more important. With these words, I thank the organization, and particularly Swamiji, for giving me an opportunity to deal with this subject. Thank you.